Good morning. This is Dr. Brooke Silberhorn at Thrive Chiropractic in Ocala, Florida. And I am really excited to do this video today. I will be completely transparent that I was super emotional, and I'm even getting emotional right now. But really fired up today. Yesterday, one of my friends and colleagues made a post in a group that we are in that is geared towards fertility and preconception. And what she said was, she was asked, are you ready to make a change? And then they told her, that you're not angry enough. And that statement, I heard it, but it didn't completely impact me until this morning when this same colleague actually shared an article talking about Alzheimer's and how their Blue Cross Blue Shield had released a report at the end of February basically saying that they had seen a 200% increase in the diagnosis of early onset Alzheimer's in people ages 30 to 64. And that makes me mad. So a little bit of background for me. Sorry, this is really hard. My grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And he passed away this past June at the age of 91. So he was not diagnosed with early onset. But that being said, Alzheimer's is an awful disease. Sorry, trying to compose myself here for a little bit. Okay. So, Alzheimer's is a horrible disease where a person basically loses themselves. And we watched my grandpa over the course of 15 years. So, praise God, he actually lived a lot longer than many people with Alzheimer's live. But we watched him slowly slip away. So, reading this article today about how millennials are being diagnosed with Alzheimer's at an early age, and that it is increasing 200% from, I believe it was 2013 to 2017, they saw this 200% increase in early onset Alzheimer's diagnoses. And that makes me mad. And it makes me want better for our world, for our families. So here's what's interesting, is that there are many scientists who believe that Alzheimer's is actually a third type of diabetes. And that we can do things to prevent it and change it. That we can make better choices as an individual, as a family, and as a society for what we are putting in our mouths and how we are nourishing our bodies, the things that we are doing to impact our nervous system function. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I am so inspired to be a part of an amazing group of chiropractors across the world who have a preconception health focus. Because we know that for us to truly have an impact on things like this, things like the increase in cancer that we're seeing, the increases in heart disease that we're seeing, the kids that are basically growing up with health challenges, chronic health challenges that they're basically being born with. And we can make changes to our world through our families by starting with parents, by restoring health in adults, in couples, before they even conceive a child. This is what is so important to me in my practice, that I can have an impact in the lives of families by helping them to restore their health before they even conceive a child. Like I said, I am really fired up today because having people my age, that statistic was 30 to 64, a 200% increase in early onset Alzheimer's. Knowing that, so again, a little bit of history about me. I'm super blessed to have known 5 of my great-grandparents. 4 of them passed away after I was a senior in high school, so I knew them for a long time. One of my great-grandmothers, she was actually the last one to pass away. She died of Alzheimer's when I was 24 years old, and I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. My grandpa, that I mentioned earlier in the video, died of Alzheimer's this last summer, and his wife, my grandma, is showing signs of Alzheimer's herself. And so knowing my personal past history, family history, and seeing these statistics, obviously someone could look at me and say, oh, well, her chances of having Alzheimer's are greater. And guess what I'm doing about it? I am making conscious decisions to improve my personal health and make sure that my nervous system is functioning optimally, making sure that I'm fueling myself nutritionally. And the last thing, which I will briefly explain, is actually essential sugars. Glyconutrients is what they're called. And so a lot of people think sugar's bad. Yes, processed refined sugar is bad. This is one of the reasons why they believe that Alzheimer's is a type 3 diabetes. However, there are essential sugars that our body requires for cell-to-cell communication. Our cells have sugars on the outside of them that act almost like Velcro. These cells are able to connect with each other and communicate with each other and send signals. And so making sure that we get those things in our diet is essential. So I will probably do more videos on that just to explain it further, because usually, and I myself, when I was first introduced to this, probably over 10 years ago, I was like, sugar's bad. I don't understand this. It doesn't make sense to me. And I pushed it aside. And then the next time I was introduced to it, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So that's my video for today. If you share this, please, because it is important. And I look forward to talking again.